The Boston Celtics have shocked the world by losing yet another 20-point lead last night and are now down 2-0 to the New York Knicks. This is primarily due to their disastrous offense in the fourth quarter, as they've only scored 16 and 17 points through the first two games. Some people will chalk this up to bad shooting luck, but to me, these few games have really shown the limitations of the Celtics offense as a whole. The Celtics probably have the best roster in the NBA, but their offense as a whole is really simple. They like to space everyone out to the three-point line and have the ball handler get into the paint and kick it out for three. To create more pressure, they will find the weakest defender to attack, which then creates great shots. However, through the first two games, that has not been the case. In the first two games, the Celtics have only shot 25% from three, with a lot of that being on Jason Tatum. Most people would chalk that up to shooting variance, but he's honestly not creating many good looks. Whenever Tatum has tried to create a mismatch, the Knicks have held up pretty well in isolation. In fact, they've given Tatum the mismatch more often than you'd expect. The main reason is, Tatum doesn't have a great bag. He likes to attack in a line drive to the rim, but if he gets cut off, he doesn't have great counter moves. When he got Brunson on the switch, he's expecting to use his power to get by him, but Brunson takes the first hit and Tatum just gives the ball up. His ball handling isn't tight enough either. Tatum wants to go right, but his crossover doesn't do anything, so he then tries to go through Brunson and he absorbs the hit, which now leads to a step back jumper. When Tatum tried attacking the Knicks big men, they have given him a slight cushion because they can use their length to contest his pull-up three. Tatum has continued to take those, and the Knicks will live with that shot. Because he can't create good separation to open up driving lanes, the only way he's going to create any separation is with the step back. Jaylen Brown has played slightly better, but he also doesn't know what to do once he gets the mismatch. When Brunson guarded him, he would try to back him down, but Brunson holds his ground and makes that shot a little more difficult. The most concerning thing though, is that the Knicks put Karl-Anthony Towns on Jaylen Brown in game 1, and it actually worked. Whether or not Brown's injury has played a factor is hard to say, but Brown just can't get by Cat. Just like with Tatum, Cat has given Brown a cushion and just sits on his drive, so that forces Brown to break Cat down with his dribble, which isn't his strongest suit. As a result, in the fourth quarter of each game, Brown hasn't scored a point when Karl-Anthony Towns was his main defender. Now you might say that it's just good Knicks defense, and you would be right. But if the Celtics are going to play this way, having multiple counters is essential to consistently get by the defense. For perspective, Brunson and Bridges have played well in the fourth because they have multiple moves to keep the Celtics off balance. In game 2, Mikal Bridges scored all of his 14 points in the fourth quarter. He drives on Drew Holiday, and he cuts that off, but then uses a change of pace to get him off balance, and that opens up a layup. Then just a bit earlier, he drives left to set up his spin move. Holiday does a great job, except Bridges suddenly stops and pulls up for a wide open jumper. Then with Jalen Brunson, he's against the much bigger Jaylen Brown, and it looks like he has nowhere to go, but then throws a quick pump fake that gets him jumping and free throws. Later in the period, he tries running pick and roll. Holiday cuts him off, so Brunson goes to the behind the back, and it's a wide open three. Then with the Knicks down 1, the pick and rolls on the other side. Holiday cuts it off again, so Brunson uses the spin, and now that collapses the defense for another wide open shot. With all that said, the Celtics spacing has not done Tatum and Brown any favors either. That sounds weird because they have a lot of shooters. Yes, that personnel is pretty important, but they're all just standing around. And if you do that too much, defenses can help more aggressively. For example, Brown drives on Brunson, and Hart and OG both come over to make him pass. They anticipate the kick out and rotate accordingly, and it's a semi-contested white three. On this one, Tatum gets Mitchell Robinson on the switch, Bridges is sitting on the elbow, and OG's on the left side because Horford's right there. By the time he gets out, Tatum's already in a step back three and delivers another brick. If you stand around, the Knicks defense could start dictating the possession because they know where each player is at all times. Cat basically gives Tatum this driving lane because OG's sitting in the paint. On the kick out, Hart and OG rotate perfectly because no one moves and you'll live with that shot. And I thought both of the Tatum and spacing issues were apparent on the final play of Game 2. Tatum can't get by Mitchell Robinson, and everyone's standing around so he gets swarmed and turns the ball over. Because Tatum and Brown aren't the best ball handlers, they're not creative enough to navigate these tight driving gaps. What all that means is that the Knicks are able to keep everything in front, and the Celtics are having to shoot over their contests. And that's why they're shooting just 25% from 3 over the first 2 games, because these shots aren't as open as they are in the regular season. The best way to describe the Celtics offense is to live and die by the 3. Their roster helps justify that approach, but the shooting variance means that they can win and lose any game on any night. Their talent and defense gives them stability to win a lot of games, but once they face more talented and well-coached teams, the inconsistencies on offense will lead to the volatility that they've had in the past few years in the postseason. On the same end, that talent and shooting variance can also turn back in their favor, which is why this series is far from over. I still wouldn't be that surprised if they end up coming back in this series, but if there's anything we have learned, it's that the Knicks have shown that Boston is very beatable, and the Celtics need to figure this out fast if they want to get back in this series. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please like and subscribe. Appreciate your guys' support.